Alright, welcome to Tom H's Horror Hangout. Tonight's guest, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, it's Rachel Alig, or Alig.
Alec, yes, I'm
Alright.
impressed.
I'm from the area that you're from, so I'm used to different names. um, she is co-star, one of the female lead star of Dean R. Whitney's film Ghostline, a film I recently reviewed for my blog.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, you start off just by telling them a little bit more about yourself, and then we'll go into whatever after that.
Okay, me as Rachel or me as Rachel the actress or both?
Do both.
Okay, well, let's see. What do people want to know about me? What do I normally get asked? I guess I've been in LA for 4 years. I'm now a full-time actress, but I grew up in Kentucky. Hey-oh! That's probably one of the best things about me is that I definitely have not lost my roots. I love, love, love my family, my friends. I have a very core group of people that raised me, and I think really that has kept me grounded while all the madness has been going on in LA. Let's see, I went to the University of Cincinnati at the Conservatory of Music, and yeah, I just kind of hit the pavement running once I got to LA. Just have been doing it since. I study at the Groundlings for comedy and Ivana Chubbuck Studios for scene study. And that's about it as an actress. For Rachel, as me as a person, I am, I think, genuine and quirky. And I have an older brother who I love. Boom.
And that's cool. I wouldn't,
Yeah.
and the thing is, I really like about this stuff is, when I do this kind of thing, is the different people that I talk to, and what it brings to independent horror film.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're not strictly in horror film. You've done
No.
multiple different things. I do know, and I was just telling my girlfriend about that you were in 12, 12, 12, and for some reason, I didn't connect it at the time when I
Oh,
was watching
really?
Ghostline. Yeah, but we have had a lot of, well, a few horror films come in to review, and I'd say this is probably the first one that my girlfriend actually said she liked.
Very critical. Which one? Ghostline?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, tell your girlfriend we love her. Myself and everybody at Ghostline, we love you now.
We want, and the thing is, it was the quality of the film was great. The acting was, and I even said in my review, you and dude, I know his name. It's the tip of my tongue. Hold on, I got it.
Starts with the Z.
Zach Gold.
Boom.
Did really, it was really good, really done well. And a lot of the films I review, I don't really look at the acting a whole lot because horror film's not really about acting so much. It's more
What are you talking about, Tom?
very, very few, very little character development. But this particular film, there's enough character development that it was like it actually helped, bring the film together.
Cool.
So,
I think that's huge that you recognize that because going into the film, Zach and I, we really decided together as actors that the story would be even stronger if the two of us committed to the same goal. And we decided that Chelsea, who I play, and Tyler, who Zach plays, they were each other's number ones So, I mean, they're actors in the film, but that is secondary to their relationship. So
Right.
we made their relationship the main priority in their lives. And by doing that together, the two of us, I think our chemistry and our scenes that we shared, which was basically 98% of what we did, it really translated to something authentic and a little bit more intense. It provided a little more intensity, I think. So
Yeah.
it's really awesome that you guys can recognize that,
And the thing is, I've probably reviewed, I don't know, 50 films, and because I haven't really done this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've done this over a few years, and I don't do a whole lot. I've done a lot, like 50 reviews in 2 years. For one person, I guess is quite a bit. But a lot of what I started off with was just trying to push filmmakers' projects out to other people. The ones especially Indiegogo campaigns, Kickstarter campaigns, trying to get people money to make films, because I know it's not cheap to
It is
start
not.
to try to be a filmmaker, and it's not easy to go and land big Hollywood roles if nobody really knows who you are. So when I do that, it's helping. I'm trying to help. That was my main goal when I started this, was to try helping people like you and
That's
filmmakers and getting the word out. Because I know in California, where you're at, it's got to be ridiculous, as far as getting work, because everybody's trying to get a job.
Let me just tell you, it is a hustle. Um, as soon as you book the next job, as you're in the midst of it, you're thinking about, well, what's next? And I can honestly say, and I did a film over the weekend, a short film, and we had night shoots, and I am on an hour of sleep right now. I shot yesterday from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. this morning. I got home and I slept for an hour. I woke up, I worked out, went to an audition, and then went to a shoot. So it like, you're committed, you have to, and you want work. You have to really stretch yourself, and I am okay with doing it because I love it, and I think we're grateful for as actors, writers, directors, producers, everybody in the business. I think once you realize how difficult it is to work, your gratitude grows even more. And then once you really become grateful for the work, I feel like the work really starts to come.
Right.
So, I am beyond grateful anytime I'm on set. I remember last night, honestly, at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I was actually supposed to be a cheerleader, so I was doing choreography. I had a short skirt on, and I was laughing hysterically. I was exhausted, but I was like, dude, I'm making film. I can't complain. So, we're grateful for you guys as well.
Yeah, and because I was telling a lot of people too, about like where to get like a job. Like around here, it's not big for like films, but there's a lot of untapped resources here, and a lot of places where filmmakers can make films and things like that, and it don't cost them a dime to make.
Yeah.
You don't have to get any kind of location. You don't have to get no permits for nothing. It's just like you can just shoot, and but nobody does anything in my area, And then I know that Atlanta's starting to pick up big, and
Mhm.
it's almost as bad as California is getting, and so I don't know. I couldn't be an actor. I don't think I could do it, because I don't think I could I guess patience in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, patience and um, the letdown. I mean, it can be heartbreaking. I, I'll be very open in saying I just went through a terrible, terrible experience. Probably the worst I've had in LA. I got cast as a lead role in a film, and 2 days before production, the distribution company decided that they wanted somebody else. They were going for a name, like a big, yeah. And, you know, the script was amazing. The character was incredible. I would have been challenged so much, but, you know, it's very difficult. But if you just learn that you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, you just have to accept that. So I let myself be upset for a day, and then I kicked myself in the ass, and I went to a couple auditions, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I guess I agree with you because I'm feel the same way with what I do. You know, I wanted to get to a certain point, and I wanted to be a certain thing by now. And my main goal from the start was like I want to be the person that people come to when they got new information about films. I want to be that guy. You know, I know you got guys. You know, you got Dread Central, you got all those bigger name places, you know, websites and stuff like that. But I feel, you know, a smaller, like maybe not so small, because I think I'm pretty up there with them as far as like my views and the hits on my blog. But when it comes to like the personal part of it, Dean's here.
Dean's in the house.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
This is weird. I have this new laptop. I didn't even know I had this capability. I mean, I thought I was going to be calling in on a telephone or something, and here I am looking at Rachel and Tom. Hey. I guess that's you, huh?
Yeah,
hey.
That's
What are you guys doing?
We're rocking and rolling.
You guys having a party, huh? Am I crashing the party?
No, you're welcome, Dean. Anytime.
Well, hey, how you guys doing?
So good. I'm trying to get... Okay, there we go.
She's still trying to adjust the lighting. And
I don't like bad lighting. As an actress, you learn that bad lighting can destroy your shot.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Very true.
Yeah, we were just talking
about... Yeah, you were talking about, Tom, like a timeline, but I think that's another thing, like as actors and writers and directors, is that you have to throw the timeline out the window because if you're working, then you're doing it. If you're doing it, then you're doing it. That's all there is to it.
So what made you, as an actress, like, what made you want to be an actress to begin with, like, in general? I mean, I know I hear the same story a lot of times, but I want to know what you have to say about that because, I don't know, right now I'm starting to think there might be some originality there in your story compared to others.
There are two vastly significant things that I would say. One being, I just think all humans like to feel important, and we all believe that our story is significant, and it is. I think we all have a story. We all have circumstances that we can't control, and I like to make people feel important. So I like to embody other people. Oh my gosh, don't make me cry. I like to tell people stories because I like to make people feel important. So that's that version. The other, at a very young age, I recognized that everybody watched TV. My father is an attorney, and the only time I saw him relax was when he was in front of a television. So I wanted to bring that type of joy to people because I knew my dad didn't relax well. So I was like, TV can do that. I want to be able to do that for my dad. I want to do that for other people. So that was the other part of it as well, just pure entertainment.
And anybody that's viewing right now, if you had any questions, go ahead and ask some questions. I will ask. Oh, we have a question already. Cool. It says, is it true that for making a horror movie, you also being a scary means that a scary people make a horror movie. So I'm imagining what this is saying is, do you have to be? Are you a scary person? And do scary people make horror movies?
I think Dean should take that one because he is a writer of horror movies, so he's got to create them from the very root. So Dean, I'll let you take that.
Well, thank you very much. I'm about as far from a scary person as one could be. And listen, as far as Dean writing horror movies, I didn't start off writing any particular type of movie. I just started off writing stories. And only reason I got into this genre is because it's something I could do on my own. My wife and I created our production company, and it's something we could produce here in San Diego with our resources. And some of my, I say almost all of my better scripts are either dramas or sci-fi or one thing I don't write is comedy. I'm not a comedian, but I'm definitely not a scary person, as you can tell by looking at me. But I've always liked horror stories, and I like to be like a lot of people. I like being scared. I like being scared, and I'm trying to create movies that scare people a little bit, but also makes them think.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I think that you're right on the you hit the nail on the head. I don't think anybody really leads into, not too many people like, I'm gonna do horror at first, but I think the genre in general is probably cheaper
Yeah.
to get into than, I mean, maybe not so much comedy. I don't think comedy really requires a whole lot of money to do, but you gotta be funny to do comedy. You're right. You just
Right.
write up a script and then go, it's comedy. I mean,
This
maybe
is funny. Somebody better laugh.
this is true, or maybe the editor or somebody whoever's checking out your script might laugh at it because, like your first time ever doing it, the grammar and just the format in general may suck, and they may be like, "What is wrong with this person?" That might be funny to them, but as far as the script itself, but yeah, I mean, that was a good question. Stephen King, that dude had to be a scary dude.
He's
That's
scary. I totally
What's
agree
going
with
on
you
up
there.
here? There's a lot of creativity.
And to write some of the stuff that comes out of that dude's head, you got to, I mean, to think of that stuff. I mean, there's a lot more, I'd say, demented minds than that. Definitely, definitely.
Well, I know that Rachel has read at least 3 of my scripts so far, including Ghostline. And I don't know if you mentioned The Final Table or not earlier. It's a film that Rachel was just cast in that's being shot in Las Vegas next year. It's a script that I optioned to Strong Image Films in Las Vegas. And then the other one is called Kill Me Once, another supernatural thriller that we've asked Rachel to be a part of next year. And I guess it's kind of scary. Would you call that scary, Rachel?
Yeah, yes, I would. But I think more in the psychological sense, which for me is much stronger because the slasher stuff is easy, but to really do a psychological thriller well, just in the writing, I mean, I think that's very difficult because to play with somebody's mind is huge. So I think, yeah, Kill Me Once is definitely more psychological, and The Final Table, I think, there's like an element of mystery involved as well.
And
But, yeah,
I don't really know about that stuff.
Uh-oh, there's something scary right there. A door opened by itself.
Yeah, that was just that was actually a perfect setup.
That was so good.
Because she was sitting right here. So when she walked out front, yeah, I didn't realize that nobody saw her. That was really good. I could like jumped and like freaked the hell out and stuff. Oh man. But yeah, those projects for real. You know me. You gotta tell me about them. Give me more information when you get to where you can, and I'll talk about it and get people to know about it.
Well, the
Uh,
Final Table is one I can send you a link to. It's got a Facebook page, and they're on IMDb already. He started. Rob Marchetti is the director and producer of that. I have nothing to do with the actual production of it, but he started casting just recently, and in addition to Rachel, he's cast a few other well-known actresses. One was the lady that played John Travolta's girlfriend in the original Saturday Night Fever, and she's playing playing an older lady in this, but it's a good role for her, and she's a great actress. So he's pretty serious about bringing in top talent, and I think he made a great choice in Rachel.
Well, thank you.
I was telling her, I knew I've seen her in another film, and but it didn't connect. When I watched Ghostline, I didn't like. I was like, I know her because I knew me and you've been Facebook friends for a while, but we never have like talked or anything,
Right.
So I mean, I knew who you were based on the fact that I knew we were Facebook friends. But as far as like, as far as other films and things like that, I was just kind of like, I knew I'd saw you in one. So when I was looking at it, I was like, oh man. And then tonight we were just talking about it. And I said, did you know that she was in 12, 12, 12? And she goes, I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, now I'm going to have to watch it again.
It was very brief. It was like a scene, but I've worked for that company before, so they didn't audition me. They called me. They said, Rachel, we have a small part. It's a day shoot. Do you want it? And I said, sure. So,
Like
it's
you
good
said.
when they call you back. Yeah.
It's like you said, you take what you can and you do what you can, and good things eventually will happen. Will happen. And I believe. Well, I believe that they are, but I believe that you still will see the best to come from you. I think you got.
I agree.
That I haven't even touched the root of what I can do, because I mean, with every project, in every class, and every audition, the growth is, I can feel it, and I can feel it with the people around me. Yeah, so I would like to think that the roles that I will be playing in the near future, are just that much more challenging and rewarding. So, yeah, I think there's only an upwards momentum. You take a hit or two, but you get back up. That's what I say.
And then with you, Dean, I think I first originally talked to you when you were getting ready to do the film Terror House, and then I think we connected through Randy Favert, the guy that does Psycho Killer. Yeah, and
I don't remember that.
and I remember back then. But yeah, Ghostline, hell, I wrote about that a while ago.
Well, Ghostline was a long time in the making. I mean, I wrote the script 2 years ago and started casting 2 years ago this summer, and we just took our time with it and setting it up and shooting it and post-production. So it was like 2 years in the making. But I don't remember Terror House.
Terror
Was
House.
that Denise? A lady named Denise that was involved with that.
Diane Renee.
Oh, Diane Renee, that's right. Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, I'm an associate producer on that, and I really don't have anything to do. I'm not even sure if she's actually doing that film at this point.
Well, yeah, I remember seeing something about it, and I remember talking, like sending a message out when I added some people to Facebook.
Right.
When some of the names connected to it, and I was trying to help them, get the word out about it.
Right.
And I remember then that's how I kind of started talking, kind of got connected with you. And
Right.
when I heard about Ghostline, and it was like, all right, I can't wait for this film to get done.
Yay.
And so as soon as I seen that, okay, it's done. Okay, I gotta get a hold of this guy. Because this year at my film festival, I will be showing it, if it's okay with you.
Awesome. I have no problem with that. Just send me, let me know what you need.
I'll probably just need just a regular, DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. And
What is your film festival, Tom?
okay. Last year I did a film festival. It's called The Dead in Dixon, and I did it in Dixon, Missouri.
Right.
And this year I'm doing what's called A Nightmare After Dark, and it's going to be placed. Well, right now we're working on getting it set up, but October 17th and 18th we'll be doing it in St. Robert, Missouri, and it's right outside of the military base called Fort Leonard Wood.
Uh-huh.
So like 5 miles outside of the base. So it's a pretty good venue. It's not as big as what I did last year. Last year I had like a 30-acre venue, all outdoor, on-site bar and grill. I had a 9x16 outdoor drive-in movie theater screen. I did it all. And
Cool.
this year I'm going to try to do it a little bit smaller, a little smaller scale, but hopefully it'll bring in a little bit more people. So I mean, we had people show, and a couple filmmakers came last year. So I was pretty happy with the whole situation as a whole and how it worked out. First year events, they're not really, I guess, depending on where you're located, they're not really that huge. I mean, I was told one of the guys was there. He goes, I sent my film to Paracon in Philadelphia, and they had 7 people. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely happy with my turnout because I had at least a couple hundred people show. So
Nice.
well, I mean, I was expecting. I guess for me, I was expecting. I mean, it was my first year ever doing it, and I've never done anything like that before. So everything I've done with this blog and the film festival and everything I've done, I've never done any of it ever.
That's
So
fun.
just started throwing things together, and I had a whole lot of things in line, and people started bailing on me that I thought were doing things, and it was like, okay, I have 2 months to get the rest of this done. So I hit up some indie rock bands and signed some indie rock bands to come play. So I had like an independent. The whole thing was all about independent, rock, independent movies. I had haunted house people come out and set up like a thing, and they did makeup for everybody. We did a little contest here and there, and but it was really, really cool because the bands were pretty cool, pretty awesome, and the guys from last year, the band was named Into the Dirt. They called me actually last night, got a hold of me, and now they want to do it again this year, and they're talking about doing it for free. They don't even want me to pay them because they loved the whole thing last year. And we shot a film on site, a feature-length horror film, and yeah, and it wasn't high quality, but it was something
Experimental.
Yeah, it was the first time ever thinking about doing it. So I got a guy named Jeremy Mitchell out of Texas. He was a friend of mine that I talked to quite a while, and then when one of the filmmakers that I had, the director I had coming, bailed on me, I was like, dude, last second issue. He's like, what? I was like, I know you know what you're doing. I know you're coming anyway. Do you want to shoot this film? And he's like, do you have a script? I said, I have a loose script. I was expecting the guy to write it, but he didn't write it. So this is what I want to do. And he's like, all right, give me some time. So it took him 3 days to write something. He comes down, stayed for the entire weekend, and he didn't even let me get involved with any of it. He's just kind of like doing things secretly, killing people secretly. I didn't know what was going on, and then he had in one scene, one of my bands were playing, and we had already kind of had it set up to where they knew something was going to happen, so they were playing, and the crowd was there, and one of the guys come running out covered in blood, screaming in the middle of all this, and nobody knew what was going on. He just grabbed some girl and started shaking her and telling her to help him, and took off running, and this girl legitimately was like freaked the hell out because she didn't know what was going on. So that made it look even better because she was really scared. And so yeah, and then the band kind of like ended the song right as that was going on, and the lead singer was kind of like just fell right into it. Was like, what the hell was that? And the guy ran up on stage and was screaming into the microphone for people to help him, and everybody's just kind of looking around, kind of exactly what we wanted to happen. And then they kind of saw the killer out in the darkness coming up, and everybody looked over there, and there was legitimate shock, and people were just kind of like, so everything worked out perfectly. But right now we're still in the process of editing it. I mean, it's been over a year, but he's got a lot of projects going on. And I told him, I was like, take your time. Whenever we get it done, we get it done. And then he can start entering it into whatever film festivals or whatever he wants to do, because I don't want no credit for it. It's all his. And I told him, I don't want no credit. Just take it, do your thing. So I mean, that's what I've been doing. And then leading up to this year, I've been doing a lot of, just the reviews. And that's why when I come and talk to you guys, I want you guys to be able to bring awareness out for all the stuff you're gonna do. Things that you've done. I mean, because maybe nobody's seen some of the movies you've done, and that help. So, he already told me that you have something planned for the future. Do you have other films, like other? I mean, I don't really care if it's horror, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, this is a horror hangout, but if there's other things you want to talk about as far as what you got planned in the future, that's cool too.
I actually just spent about 3 weeks in Colorado on a psychological thriller. It's called At Granny's House. And it was quite the departure from anything that I've ever played, and vastly different from my character in Ghostline. But it was very, very rewarding creatively. Our director, I'm going to butcher his last name, Les Mahoney. He was the writer, director, and also the lead actor in it. And he was a wonderful director. He allowed us to he made sure he got what he wanted, but he also gave us a lot of freedom with creating the scene and the character, and spent a lot of time in prep before filming, about really developing the character and where she was and the significance she had in these relationships. But it was freaking awesome. I mean, it was juicy. My character was all over the place, and she wasn't always honest, but there was a reason behind it. So that's another one that I've done. It's interesting because I never really saw myself falling into this genre, but it seems as if I have a little bit, and I'm totally fine with that.
I honestly, I think, like I said, I like other types of movies, but for some reason, that's what I'm stuck on too. Horror films is just my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're hard to do well. I think they're hard to do a really nice, a nice quality production where it doesn't feel overly campy, and like you said, a lot of times the acting is just it's not even meant to be that great. But when you do have a good one, they really stand out. I think that's the biggest thing, and I think that's one of the biggest things with Ghostline and with Dean's writing is that it is unique. It's different. It's not like everybody. It's not a bunch of naked girls running around getting cut up.
That's coming next.
There's just what?
Bunch of naked girls running around. That's the next one. Of course, I have to clear that with Judy first.
Yeah, there's just more substance to your work, and that's why I think it's standing out against a lot of the other stuff that's out there.
And I agree, because I think we had watched one. It was like Rob, the opening scene. There had to be, it had to be sex scene, and it's kind of like, to me, it's like that's how they grab you. That's how they think that they can grab you. It's like immediately they want to grab you with that, and they think people are going to start, keep watching it because, okay, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've stopped movies and I just stopped watching them because of the beginning and how it started, and
anybody can do that. Anybody can do that.
Right. That's no original. There's no originality to that. Because I remember, and this kind of leads into my next question, and this goes for both of you. your thoughts on the horror genre of the past compared to the present. I've had many conversations with probably all the people I've talked to doing this, and on the phone about the genre and what's missing right now, because back when I'm in my mid-30s, so I'm still on the whole early 80s kind of stuff and up. So back then you had icons, you had horror icons, you had slasher icons like Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers, and you don't have the slasher icons anymore. You don't really. I mean, now it's kind of more stuck and geared into like the found footage and paranormal, supernatural type films, and which while I think I like found footage. I mean, some of them are really really good, and some are kind of But to find something truly original, and that was another thing that we were talking about with Ghostline, was while the story sort of, the type of story was kind of something that's been used, but at the end, it got us. It was like we didn't expect it, and it wasn't something we were really expecting. So that is what that was what we were looking at. Is if you can take something, an idea, even if somebody's even had done it 25 times, but make it yours and make it original and separate it from everybody else. Because I've watched The Conjuring, I was not impressed, but I was impressed by your film.
Thank you.
And I look at the budget, the difference in budgets of all these films I've watched. The Hollywood types and the mainstream films and things like that, in comparison to a lot of the films I've watched. And this is why I stick with the independent horror film. This is why I love doing what I do, because I have found gems. I have found diamonds in the rough, and I have seen films that other people have never even heard of. And when I start, I'll be like, okay, I'll wait till you guys tell me, or I'll find out if something's in distribution or whatever, if it's already coming out on like a DVD, or if they've had it out for a year, and I'll take a screener and I'll go give it to one of my friends. I'll be like, watch that. Tell me what you think. Because I want, and I said, just when you're done, you give it right back to me. Don't be giving it to everybody else. You watch it. And I have actually brought people in that have never watched an independent horror film in their life. And now I got a friend, or two friends, that they're always asking me about different things I've seen, and they're following it religiously, and they're telling other people about it too. So it's working, it's helping, and the awareness is out there. It's easy to get the word out in California and all that stuff, but where I'm at, it's not there. It's not here.
It's not necessarily easy to get the word out, though. I mean, we are in LA, especially. There's just such an influx in content and people. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's got a 5D. Everybody's got an iPhone. Everybody's got the web where they can put their material. We all have a medium now to showcase our work. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's quality and it's worthy of being seen and it's going to be great. But also high-budgeted films, I don't think, just because you have so many plus $1 million, doesn't mean you're going to make a magical great movie. It's very difficult to make a truly good movie. There's so many components. You have the writing, you have the cinematography, you have the music, you have the acting, you have the editing. I mean, if everything, and I mean everything, is not in sync, it just doesn't work, and that's really difficult to do.
I guess where I was going with that was you see the film festival circuits, where they're pretty much located, where the festivals are located, and things like that, And like I said, you got Dallas, you got Texas Frightmare, which is, and Dallas is a big area. Texas is a big area. There's a lot of people in Texas. You got a lot of them in California, a lot of them, but in where I'm at, like in the Midwest, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, there's nothing. I mean, you have Crypticon in Kansas City, but that's pretty much the extent of anything remotely big. And So here, it's non-existent. You know, whether I'm talking just getting the word out and spreading the word about the actual films.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've heard recently of a film called Crawl or Die that just came out.
Yes.
From Oklahoma Ward. Um, I've been talking to them probably for a better part of almost 2 years on that as well. And now they're released in Walmart and on Amazon and all that. They actually got a pretty good distribution deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, their film is there. You know, people are going to see it because it's in Walmart. But for the people that can't or don't got the distribution like that, or a distribution company that's working with them like that's going to give them a big push, that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing with my film festival, because I figure, you know, hey, if I can bring 500 people to my festival to see a film that they would otherwise not have heard of, then I've done something.
Well, and I think that's something independent filmmakers have to really learn and to focus on is everybody gets obsessed with getting the financing to make the film.
Oh, yeah.
Finish the film.
Uh-huh.
But okay, so you have those elements, but where we forget about the audience. What is the purpose of making your film if you don't get to showcase it? What is your audience? So I would say if there's something lacking in the independent world, it's the focus of how we get our material shown. Where is our audience? Who is going to distribute this? And there are all kinds of new places that are giving independent filmmakers that possibility with Netflix, Hulu, IndieFlix,
Yes.
you know, Amazon streaming. There's all these places, but I think it's something that independent filmmakers, actors, producers, everybody need to just focus on. Is that, like, yes, we want to make movies, yes, we love it, but how do we showcase it? So, something to consider.
Well, this is digital world,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to go digital. Ghostline will be available digitally everywhere, but we also want to have it out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Right.
And we've already been contacted by a sales agent about distributing Ghostline internationally, and so we're working on that right now.
And see, that's exactly, and I mean, that's good, and I love that because I think it's awesome. I don't know how Netflix works, you know. I mean, I feel I don't believe a lot of you guys do it for the money that much, but it'd be nice for it to actually pay off eventually.
Yeah,
You know?
you better believe it, man.
So I don't know how Netflix.
Business.
I don't know what kind of deals Netflix makes with you guys when you guys do this, or does that go through the distribution company? You know, if you get the distribution, if they
It's a
deal
very
with Netflix,
complicated system, Tom. Very complex.
it sounds like it. Because,
Well, yeah, there's just a lot of there's just a lot to it, because then you're talking about residuals, you're talking about how many times it's being viewed, who gets ownership. There's just there's a lot more than just saying here's my movie, put it on Netflix.
I got
You
my
have to
kitty
have
cat. I got my kitty cat here. One of my kitty cats.
Ah! I'm doing a commercial tomorrow in San Diego, Dean, and I get to play with cats all day.
Okay. Wait, what'd you just say? You're coming to San Diego?
Yeah, tomorrow I have a commercial in San Diego, and
Yeah, really?
I'm playing with cats all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
I was going to say, see, Tom, right now we are setting up a dinner arrangement.
you do what you do.
McDonald's it is.
I'll call you guys.
Well, I mean, I also got, like, you know, and that's the other thing, since we're doing all that, setting things up, I was going to talk to you because I talked to a guy named James Dempster, which is a good friend of mine, about a film that's coming up called 10 Seconds to Run.
Ooh.
And they're possibly looking to cast, and I thought about you.
Hey, hey.
I thought about James first because the guys in the film, in the trailer that they had, the teaser trailer, fit his description perfectly. I was like, oh God, gotta tell this dude. And then another, you know, so for me, that's another thing I like to do. If I hear about a film that's possibly with something that has an actual 90% chance of actually happening, I tell people about it. I mean, there's a lot of Kickstarter campaigns I know is never going to happen. I'll sit there, I look at their pitch video, and I'm like, okay, no. Or I'll look at the pitch video and go, okay, yes. And if it has a name involved in it, that I'll check with that person and be like, are you involved with this project for real, or are they just putting your name on there? I've been told a couple times that I ain't gonna put the guy's name out there, but he starts Kickstarter campaigns like crazy about making films, and there's been a couple times he's put Jessica Cameron on there saying she was part of it, and I made the mistake of writing about it once, and she's like, hey, I'm not involved in that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. So now I do a lot more research with the people I know, especially with the people I know, because now I can't, with her, I just shoot her a Facebook message and go, hey, about this film, and she'll tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
Like that. So, but this one, I believe was a legitimate one.
Cool.
And it looks really cool, and I think they've pretty much received all their funding. So, yeah. That might be somebody. I'll shoot you a link to their to the page so you can see what it's about.
Yeah, please do.
If you want to contact them, that'd be cool. And with you, Dean, anybody, and if you're needing people to, you're casting or whatever for anything, I got people like, other people that I could talk to help you out too. And that, you might want to work for you or work with you or.
Like actors you're talking about?
Actors, actresses, cinematographers.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Well, we have a cinematographer. We're going to use Jesse Aragon, the guy that did Ghostline.
So good.
His wonderful Red Scarlet on our next film. And I'm going to try to use some of the same crew.
So you actually have your old crew already and everything?
Well, yeah, for the most part. And we try to hire local people because we shoot it here in San Diego. And we want the money to stay here in San Diego as much as possible. I think we brought 4 or 5 actors from LA, including Rachel, Zach Gold, and Michael Lewis Hudson, Bert Culver. Brought them down from LA, and it gets a little expensive when you have to put people up in a hotel, and then when you have people like Rachel that demands a 5-star hotel and a
don't you dare!
And take her to the set. I mean, that doesn't leave any money. I mean, we had to strip and save just to feed these poor people.
So you paid her all the money for real?
Hey, look at her. You think she's going to work for free?
Craft services and all that other stuff. You're like.
I'm like, bring me my filet mignon.
Oh shit.
I will say though, Dean and Judy Whitney, they took care of their crew and their entire cast and crew. I mean, they fed us well. They made sure everybody had a place to stay, and it showed because we were all so happy to be there, and that's so huge. Because when you're on independent films, your days normally don't go under an 8-hour day. We actually had a few on Ghostline where we didn't go over 8 hours. And, you're like, what do I do with myself? I'm normally on set for like 12 or 13. But when you're working pretty much consistently for a solid, 12 to 18 days, long hours, and it can be taxing. But if you're happy, it shows, and I think it really shows in the final product as well. Because there's like a synergy amongst everyone. It's just, I have your back. I have everybody's back on that set. I want everybody to be happy and to be doing what they love to do. Because why shouldn't you be? We're making a movie, for Pete's sake. Like, if I had...
Hey, Tom, let me tell you something about the house we filmed in. You saw the film and you saw the house that we shot the movie in. We rented that house for a full month. And we actually shot in there for 3 weeks. We had several of our crew members actually, am I still there? Okay. Yeah, we had several of our crew members stay at the house during the filming, the ones that lived out of town. Didn't have local, lodging, but all the actors, including Rachel, Zach, and Bert, we put them up in a local quinta over in Mission Valley. So everybody had a place to stay. I'm hearing weird noises.
I don't hear them.
Ping pong game or something back and forth.
Can you hear?
Oh, I can hear.
I can hear you guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Well, right now I think my air conditioning is making noise in my background. Yeah.
You guys still there?
Yes.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I was
I
trying
can
to
hear you guys.
listen.
It's froze.
I just saw a ghost pass right behind you, Tom. It was like a white mist.
It's constantly happening, you know, and
There it is
over
again.
there and over here. Yeah,
Wow.
I have a ghost in my house.
I guess so. Hey, Tom, you'll have to come out to San Diego. We'll take you on a real ghost hunt.
Yeah, let's do
I would
it.
so do that. I would. I would. Yes, you could come too. I'm just gonna ditch you. I'm just gonna leave you here. But yeah, I have a question. I always ask this to everybody I talk to. If you woke up tomorrow, and it's kind of generic at the same time, non-original.
Sometimes those are good, though.
Okay,
If
I'm
you woke
hearing.
up tomorrow,
Hello?
yes.
So
What's
what's
the
the question?
question?
If you woke up tomorrow morning and the zombie apocalypse had happened, and you had to pick 3 people, it don't have to be, it could be real people, characters in movies, any of that. Who would you pick? An example: somebody picked Iron Man as one of their people to help fight the zombie.
And 3 people that I could have dinner with?
No, that you would help you in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh.
Oh, okay, I missed that part of it. Wow.
Me too. That makes it way more interesting.
Having dinner with them.
Okay. I know, having dinner, that was not fun at all, right?
I was like, okay.
Do you have yours, Dean?
No, I've considered a zombie apocalypse, but hey, listen, my age, I'm just happy if I wake up tomorrow. So.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, hey, Daryl from Walking Dead is definitely one guy I choose.
Oh.
Definitely Daryl, and maybe Rick too. I don't know. He's got experience.
Okay.
Somebody can run fast and shoot straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me really answer this. Okay, I've got it. My mom,
Wow.
because she is my rock, and she exemplifies unconditional love. And I know that she would make sure that I would survive, and I would make sure that she would survive, so then we would survive. Hey. My, my, no. Melissa McCarthy, because I would be laughing the whole time. And, freaking, I guess Meryl Streep, because I love her.
In a zombie apocalypse?
She
Yeah,
is
why
not
not?
last very long.
I tell you.
We would. We all 4
Zombie
amazing
lunch.
women that would just dominate, okay?
Oh.
Dominate.
Hey, I tell you what, Tom, have you seen The Strain on TV?
No. I have not.
There's a character in The Strain. He's an older guy, has a cane, and he pulls a sword out of it, and he's got a heart condition. But this dude knows how to lop off heads. My 3rd guy. So I got Rick, I've got him, and I've got Daryl from Walking Dead. Those are the 3 I choose. And I'm gonna live a lot longer than Rachel.
You guys, you're gonna outlive me. Dang it.
You have a guy that
But
has.
all I'm saying is my group of people, we are having a shit ton of fun the day that we die. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Now,
No
if you
matter
got,
what happens, I'm going out like just on cloud nine.
Yep.
now, didn't Meryl Streep play in the movie Death Becomes Her with Goldie Hawn?
Yes.
If you got that Meryl Streep, you'd be good.
That's what I'm saying. Because the woman is so amazing. I could be like, listen, bitch, I need you to be warrior princess today. Get your head in the game, Meryl. Get your head in the game. And then suddenly she'd be like, I'm warrior princess. Let's go. You make demands of that woman, and she does it. That's all I'm saying.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so I think that like I said, in the future I will continue to keep you guys in mind. You know how you get a hold of me, and I will let you guys know anything that comes up. You know, if you guys want to know, if you want me to do anything for you, Dean, as far as your films, as far as the films you start writing for, direct, let me know, and I'll do it. And you, Rachel, if I find jobs or anything or any films that you're in the future, I'll take care of it. I'll talk about it for you, and
cool. It's appreciated, honestly.
Everybody, this was Dean R. Whitney and Rachel Alec.
Hey.
Hey. And the Hangout is over, but you guys need to take care of them by following all the films of theirs on Facebook. You can go on my blog and check out all the stuff. I'll even post some links later on to help get more awareness to what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Tom.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for taking time. I know you're good.
Peace and love.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Bye, Dean. Talk to you tomorrow.
Good night, guys. Good night.